So I'm getting outside while I can, enjoying the sunshine on a clear, beautiful day. Looking at a few comments though about people feeling a little bit imprisoned or contained, and actually you can feel like that even when you're not sort of confined to a space. Anyway, you can be contained mentally and you can be contained spiritually. And in 2 Corinthians, Paul's writing about his hardships. He's writing about how he's been shipwrecked and how he's been abandoned and how he's faced death. He's been bitten by snakes, and he's talking to the church about their struggles and their strives. And he's not doing it to boast and say these things aren't unimportant, say that these things don't matter, but he's just trying to make the point that we all go through hardships and we all go through difficult times. And this is the same Paul that was imprisoned for his faith, and he writes in that same passage, I've been imprisoned many times. Many times I've been in prison more than any of you, and I've suffered hardships more than any of you, and I lust more than any of you, and I've been facing death more than any of you, and yet still I rejoice in my faith, still I give praise to Jesus Christ. And this is the same Paul that says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And it just strikes me that in this time, like, your mindset is probably one of the most important things, that your mindset is really key. You can be imprisoned not just physically, you can be contained not just physically, but you can be contained mentally, you can be contained emotionally, you can be contained spiritually. And actually you've got an opportunity right now to dig into the mindset of be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that actually it's Jesus that sets us free. You know, this same Paul, while he's imprisoned, worships. This same Paul, while he's imprisoned, has a freedom that nobody else has. And I think actually there's an opportunity for you and I to live in freedom. There's an opportunity for you and I to have that same attitude of praise, that same attitude of worship, that same spirit that says, even though I'm in the middle of hardships, that I'm going to give praise to God, that He is bigger than my situations. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why won't God take us out of it? But often God doesn't take us out of things, He takes us through things, that we go through things with God. You know the psalm very well, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We quote it so much, and certainly seems to be this past year we've quoted that so many times, that God doesn't take us out of the valley, He walks with us through the valley. And so I just want to encourage you to have a different mindset, to have a different attitude. Like the sense of, oh, it's difficult, and it's a huge hardship for all of us to bear. It is, but at the same time we have a God that has given us freedom, a God that brings peace, a God that brings love, of hope, of mercy through the power of His Holy Spirit, through grace and forgiveness expressed in Jesus Christ, that when we put our faith in Him, we now share in an eternal hope and an eternal salvation. And that's what we fix our eyes upon. We don't fix our eyes upon our situation. We're not ignorant of it right now. We're not ignorant of how difficult it might feel, but we're saying we've got a God who is bigger than all of that. And through the middle of this, we'll see some stories, we'll see some breakthroughs, we'll see maybe people think more about their lives than they've ever have before, and an opportunity to turn to Jesus and put our hope and trust in Him. May the grace of God be over you. Have an amazing day. Bless you.